So I'm going to talk about brushes, how to make your brushes do weird tricks. So I'm looking for my brush that is damp. This is ever so slightly damp. When it's damp as opposed to dry, I can spread the bristles out. Now I'm going to add a little paint off screen here. See what it will do. So here I'm getting kind of a dry brush. What might you use this for? You know, weeds, hair, whatever. Just make it a little wetter, maybe. Put a little paint. Now I've got paint on it. And I'll do the spread. I've got a little ultramarine blue on here. Spreading those bristles. You see with the gloppiness of the paint, it doesn't spread as well. But here I've got that nice markings. Right, what else can I do? Here's a round brush, which is also wet, which I can spread. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, put a little bit of paint on it, then like tortured little brushes. Depending on what you do, you can add several colors to it and get several markings or let them dry. Now, there is a brush, and these come in a variety of sizes. This is called a fan brush. So I'm going to put a little water on the brush just to lubricate it. And as I load it with some paint that has a little bit of the satin glazing medium in it, not the water, plenty of water already, I can separate this a little more. And this is traditionally what fan brushes, are used for. But, if you don't want to spend the money for another brush, you can do this to your other brushes. I have a brush that may or may not have come in the kit. You can get these at the hardware store. It's best if you wet the bristles, just lubricating them a little bit, and a little bit of paint on my fingers. And now they're more pliable. Because this mimics a hog bristle brush, it's not a soft one, you'll automatically get those kinds of things. And I didn't even spread the fibers too much. All right, what else have we got here? I've got, look at these. These are old brushes. You can see there's paint that got up in the ferrule. So that's what this metal thing is called, the ferrule. It's gotten up in the ferrule, and so the brush doesn't condense anymore. Well, hey, don't throw that away. Let's see what that can do. It can do a variety of things. You can pounce with it. What might that be good for? The inside of a flower, or the stamens are. Again, you can get that kind of an action. So I have two of those. That's what those do. Also got a toothbrush here. Old, clean, but used. I can go over here. I can get some paint on it and then get some very uneven marks. I put 2 because I'm using stiffer paint, stiffer brush. I can load it with 2 kinds of color. Makes an interesting decoration, whatever you want to call it. I can also take that toothbrush and let's see. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see a little better. Spray. Maybe a little more on there. Kind of get interesting. Depending on how thick or thin your paint is, you can spray. So you've also, in your kit, got one of these plastic palette knives. These palette knives are better to mix your paint with than your brushes, because Then again, the paint gets stuck up in the ferrules and it's really hard to get out. But, you know, you can paint with this too. I can put paint on there. I can get nice sharp edges. I can also drag it through paint to give me a nice effect. All right, there's playing with brushes. Take your brushes. You've probably got softer bristle. You can see how soft that is by how it flicks. And then you've got the mimic of a hog bristle. This is a much stiffer brush. They all do different kinds of things, whether your paint is dry or wet or nice and sloppy and soupy. They do all kinds of things. Practice, play, experiment.